Alright, hey folks, this is Chris Lucas of TheProtestantView.com. I also am known on YouTube as Liquid Smooth, and I also have another channel called The Protestant View. And today I'm just doing a little video about a few things I found recently that I thought might be of interest to people. Some of it has to do with Sandy Hook. Some of it sort of relates to Sandy Hook, and it's just to talk a little bit more about Vatican control of government and things like that. So anyway, people who studied Sandy Hook, they might be familiar with this guy right here. That would be Lieutenant Paul Vance. And he was basically the guy who said charges could be pressed against people who spread false information about Sandy Hook. But it's like, how do they prove it's false information? Don't they have to show the video of it? Don't they have to have some proof that this even happened? We can't just take their word. They have to show proof. So see, folks, actually, you could spread any kind of information you want. They're the ones who got to come up with the proof. That's one of my points I like to make is, it's like, really, like, I'd go right there to Paul Vance and be like, well, you shot the kids. I think the government did something, or I don't think this really happened. If you don't think it really happened, they got to be the ones who provide the evidence that it did, right? So why don't you have someone like Alex Jones or someone just walk right up to Lieutenant Paul Vance and go, Lieutenant Paul Vance. Now, Alex Jones has money. See, folks, I get in this argument with Anthony Algar Mansour. And he's like this Canadian kid that's really big into the Sandy Hook. And people go, what, Chris, why do you even bother, messaging this guy? Because you know what? Here's the thing, folks. I kind of try to reach out to anyone that tries to do truther videos. I try to reach out to people. There's a couple of my subscribers I actually need to still watch your videos, and I'm sorry I haven't. I've been kind of like, I was a little preoccupied with a few other things, and then when I do have the time, I forget, so I just wanted to say that apology. But anyway, this Canadian kid, Anthony Algar Mansour. It's like Mansour. He was known as Maxman521, I think. And, he does all these Sandy Hook videos all the time. And it's like, I tried talking to him because I was like, well, if this is like some legit kid, here, let me kind of point you on the right trail. And gets in this argument with me about Alex Jones. Well, and he wants to say Alex Jones is legit, and he thinks we should still listen to him, and all this other stuff. And it's like, and then he's like, and then I said, well, no, because I said these people, nothing's happened to anyone, over 9/11. I said people like Alex Jones helped them get away with 9/11, because you never really attack the right people, or you never attack them the right way with the right questions. You never protest the people in the right way with the right questions, with the right kind of protesting. You really do let these people get off the hook. See, it's like, Alex Jones has all this money. I don't have hardly any money. I work a full-time job and me and my wife barely scrape by. And, that takes 10 hours of my day in of itself, so it's like, when do I have time I barely have time to make these videos. Let alone, like, go to Sandy Hook. How do I pay for that? And how do I find time? I guess I could find time if I actually had extra money for a plane ticket or whatever. But, still, even then, that is still, like, a big chunk of time to me. But it's like, Alex Jones, here you are, and why can't you just fly down there? You even have people who can do your InfoWars show while you're gone, and you could go right down to Sandy Hook, or even this. You could even send someone down there. And go question these people. I mean, seriously, has anyone seen one video where Alex Jones sends someone to go question this Lieutenant Vance? You know, my case in point. Because all you gotta do is just go down there and question them. Because see, here you go. You say, hey, spread false information. Well, hey, I would just be like, hey, you know what? My site, my major media site says we believe the government's behind this. And I'd start showing all these little clips of inaccuracies. And I said, now it's on you. If you want to, go ahead and arrest me. Please arrest me. Because you know what? In a court of law, what I will do is I'll file a countersuit saying this is a false arrest because you don't have any proof. And go ahead and take me to court. Because in court, you would have to prove this. Because you know what? I bring countersuits against you and your ass would be in jail. You'd be sitting in jail. Okay? I mean, folks, it's this simple. These people are disinfo agents. Because, I mean, you could do it this simply. I don't know why this wouldn't work. Because, I mean, you're sitting in a court. Okay, you got to prove it. Let me see the video. Let me see the video of Adam Lanza even entering the school. Why can't they even show that? They can't even show him entering the school. I mean, granted, okay, you don't want to show the video of children blown apart. Can you at least show Adam Lanza entering the school? No, they cannot. So that leads people to think either this really didn't happen, or Adam Lanza didn't even kill him. You guys look guilty, because when you don't have anything to hide, if you didn't really have nothing to hide, couldn't you just show us some evidence? But see, they just want to make you think that they can jail you, even though you say you go against their official story. Because if you go against their official story, couldn't they label you as spreading false information? And if they do, charge me with something. Then you gotta prove it in court. You gotta prove it. Because it can't be just your word against mine. If you got this proof, let's see it. I don't know why this couldn't work in a court of law. I mean, why couldn't that approach work? Now, second thing. He's a Roman Catholic. Okay, the governor is Roman Catholic. The mayor of the town, well, it's actually first selectman, which in this case is a woman, Patricia Lodra. She's a Roman Catholic. So you got this guy who's talking to the media. He's a Roman Catholic, telling you, a Protestant, well, me at least, a Protestant, what I can and cannot ask. And it's like, you know what? You're not going to be big. You're not going to control everything, Roman Catholics. You're not going to control everything. You're not going to control everything, Vatican. This is the United States of America, not the Vatican of America, not the Catholic Church of America. This is the United States of America. So, and you actually have to, you cannot run things this way. This is not your country. I mean, see, folks, we need to put our foot down, because, see, really, the Catholics need to prove themselves a little bit harder, because, see, people can, it's not unreasonable to think that people are more loyal to their religion than they will be to a country. But, see, the Vatican's a country and a religion, right? Because it's a Catholic religion, plus it's a country. And who's to say that these Roman Catholics, like Lieutenant Vance, aren't more loyal to the Vatican than they are to the United States and to the American citizens? What if he's more about Catholic global power? What if that's what he cares about more? And extending the Vatican's hand and the power of all the countries. Especially the United States. And here's how I know he's a Roman Catholic. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here's his son, J. Paul Vance Jr. His home city's Waterbury, Connecticut, and he's a Roman Catholic. Okay, because it's kind of hard to find out if certain people are Roman Catholics or not. They really keep their religion hidden, and they do this because they don't want to raise suspicion. And folks, now sometimes you do have certain so-called evangelical churches and so-called Protestant churches that really aren't Protestant because they're caught up in the ecumenical movement, so they're really not Protestant. And most of their leadership, you could see videos of them bowing to the Pope. I showed a video of them bowing to the Pope on a couple of my videos. You know, where you got leadership of the Methodists, Presbyterians, all them bowing to the Pope. And they actually worked together with the Vatican on certain things. So, and also, there's a group of people called the Jesuits. And they're allowed to assume any disguise as long as it advances the Catholic's cause. So they're allowed to go to a Protestant school, be a Protestant, you know, look like a Protestant, say they're Protestant, even though they're not. And see, I think this is how certain Supreme Court judges who are actually Catholic, how they got on the Supreme Court, and then they turned around and voted for Roe and the Roe versus Wade, and I believe it was the Vatican who ultimately wanted to get abortion in America, because I believe they're all about child sacrifice, because I believe they're actually Mystery Babylon. They're actually all the things from Babylon, and all they did was change the names, you know, like change Mary's, you know, Semiramis' name, or what is it, Isis. You know, she was called different things in different cultures, but it's really basically the same woman. And all they did was change her name to Mary. Because if you notice, folks, you know, you think about it, this person these Catholics pray to or talk to that they call Mary. Now, think about this logically. Could you handle several thousands and millions of people talking to you per hour, 24/7, for 2,000 years, and you're hearing all these voices? And you're a human. No, you could not handle it. So obviously, they know deep down inside, if they even thought about it, and see, some of them just don't want to think about it because they don't want to know that they're actually guilty of worshiping this person, this deity, this false deity, this false god. They don't want to actually admit it, so they kind of turn off their logic part of their brain here. But if you actually, like, turned it on, you'd be like, hey, a human being couldn't understand this. A human being couldn't take this. Not a regular human being. They must be a god, a deity. Okay? So you deep down in their hearts, they know. Deep down in their mind, they just turn something off. Because when I even thought about this, you know, when someone first mentioned this to me, that's the first thing that pops in my mind. Now, maybe I'm just really, really intelligent. I mean, like, you know, compared to most people, I don't know, you know, folks, I don't know. But, I mean, this kind of pops right up into my mind, you know, maybe God just puts his hand on me and, like, bam, you know, and that's how this pops in mind. I don't know, you know, but it's like, it didn't take me much thought, and it really just seems like if someone just contemplated it just a little bit, you would be like, hey, this doesn't make sense. So, anyway, so here we got this Paul Vance guy, Roman Catholic, Lieutenant Paul Vance, you know, that was a media expert, Roman Catholic, giving you these threatening statements. And so it all ties together. Now, I just want to play one little video I found, because I think this kind of fits into everything, and it kind of puts in a little exclamation on things, because it's like, here, I'll just play the video and I'll talk about it afterwards, but it says, cop blows whistle on Catholic mafia, and this is in Wales,
An inquiry into church abuse in New South Wales has opened with claims a Catholic mafia was operating within the police force to hinder investigations into pedophile priests. Jodie Spears was at the opening day of hearings in Newcastle.
Now, folks, did you catch that? A Catholic mafia operating within the police force?
An inquiry into church abuse in New South Wales has opened with claims a Catholic mafia was operating within the police force to hinder investigations into...
See, to hinder investigation. You don't think this could be going on in the United States and Sandy Hook? I mean, look at how many Catholics are in our government. I mean, folks, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone in an important position that's not a Catholic or who didn't go to a Catholic school or some Jesuit school. And that goes for Feinstein and all these Jews people like to accuse of doing stuff. They went to Catholic schools. So they're submissive to the Catholic
pedophile
Church.
Priests. Jodie Spears was at the opening day of hearings in Newcastle.
Chris, today's hearing focused on the evidence of whistleblower detective Peter Fox, who claims that he was told to stop investigating claims of paedophilia in the Catholic Church. He took to the witness stand today to talk about the handling of complaints against two former priests, James Fletcher and Dennis McAlinden. The court heard claims of a Catholic mafia operating within the police force to hinder investigations.
This is the start of a very long process.
It is very distressing to me that any child should have had to put up with this, and that an institution condoned it and let it happen is horrendous.
Detective Chief Inspector Fox described having his office turned upside down by other officers looking for sensitive documents. He also told how he filed 2 intelligence reports raising concerns about a possible pedophile ring, only to find that those reports had mysteriously disappeared from the police system. The inquiry will run on and off for the next few months, and it's expected to hear from a number of senior police.
So I found this today and I thought it was pretty interesting. That's why I decided to share it with you people. They say they published it on May 6, 2013, so this is probably pretty recent news. But this is just to give you an idea of something that could be happening in America and Sandy Hook and Connecticut. Because, like I said, folks, I showed you that it's hard not to find a Catholic connection. There seems to be all kinds of Catholic connections in Sandy Hook, just like 9/11. But hey, it's like, why didn't our investigations ever go anywhere? Because we never focused on like the real motives and the real perpetrators. People too busy just blaming Bush or someone else when it went far beyond Bush. And there's tons of evidence to connect all this other stuff to Bush, connect all this stuff to Panetta, all of them. You could have got all of them. But everyone wanted to keep listening to controlled opposition like Alex Jones, and we never go nowhere. And, it's like, and I'm not going to support anybody who, I told Anthony Algar Mansour that I'm unsubscribing. I'm done. I'm done talking to him. I'm done even trying, because if he won't see Alex Jones and see what he really is, I'm done trying. Which brings me to one final thing, folks. If you haven't checked out any of Derek in the Midwest videos, if you want to see someone expose Alex Jones, I think he exposes some things about Alex Jones that other people haven't exposed, and he does a video showing as he's going through it and everything like that. And that's Derek in the Midwest. So it's Derek spelled Derek. So Derek in the Midwest, and that's type his name into a YouTube search engine and you should find it. I recommend his videos. He hasn't done anything for a year, but I did manage to get a hold of him on the phone, talk to him, and you know, he's doing good. If anybody's wondering, because I don't know, I thought something happened to him. That's why, because I hadn't seen any of his videos in a year, and I got a hold of his number somehow and gave him a call because I was curious. I honestly didn't even think he'd answer the phone because I do worry about some of these people just disappearing. But yeah, he's doing good in his Christian walk from what it sounds like. I didn't really get too deep into it with him, but at least he's involved in church and stuff. So, anyway, folks, that's it.